Welcome, Harvest Hawks. It is that time of year where you get to start thinking about the classes you'd like to take next year for the 21-22 school year. So, we are going to show you the electives classes that we have to offer next year, and we would like you to follow your passion. So, think about as we go through the next few slides, what electives would you like to take? We have band and strings. Can you imagine yourself up on that stage with them? We also have chorus. There's also art class for those of you artists in the audience or those who would like to try art for the first time. You can join animation and create your own short animations. And there is garden, where we have a lot of fruit and vegetables. You will learn how to grow them, harvest them, cook them, and we even have some chickens. Another option is leadership and yearbook, where you will help to make different fun activities around the campus and create the yearbook. So, in order to take an elective class, if you are an ESA, ELD, or directed studies, you will need to take a zero period class. So, zero period is a class that starts around 7:30, and that would allow you time during your schedule to take one of the classes that we just talked about. So now I'm going to show you the course request card, and your teacher will have this course request card for you in their Google Classroom. So let's go through it. We're going to respond. Let's see if we can respond again. So here's the course request card. And you'll see it's for next year, 21-22, when you will be in 7th or 8th grade. Start with your last name and then your first name. Make sure you put in your student ID number. That's your lunch number. The first question is going to ask you, do you have a directed studies class with Mrs. Miller or Miss Rogers? If you're not sure what that is, you probably don't have the class. The next question is, are you in the ESA program? ESA students take Spanish language arts and their individuals and societies class in Spanish. Maybe you do have that class or in part of that program. Do you have an ELD class or an Avid Excel class? This would be an additional English class that would help you grow, develop your English skills. Maybe I have that, maybe I don't have that. Okay, now this is an important question. Because we have a six period day, some students will not be able to take an elective. What that means is if you are a student that is in dual immersion or the ESA program taking Spanish, or you have an ELD class or directed studies class, you may not be able to take a visual or performing arts class. If you would like to take one of the classes that we talked about in the presentation, you'll need to choose an early flight class. Early flight starts around 7:30. Depending on how many students are willing to take it, we'll be able to run that class. So please let us know if you would be willing to take an early flight class in order to take a visual or performing arts class. So any of the electives classes will be offered to all students, no matter what your classes are. Some may have to take an earlier class. So if you answered yes to any of those previous questions, I had answered yes to one of them. Will I take a 0 period? Yes, I'll take a 0 period. All right. Now I choose what class I am taking right now. I'm taking strings, and I get to choose which class are my top 3. So I'm already in strings, so I'm going to say that strings is my first choice. My next choice would be band and an art. You're going to need to make your own decision, and we will do our best to make sure that you get one of your top 3 choices. If you have any questions, you can contact Mrs. Galdames or you can ask your teacher. All right, thanks for listening, and go fill out those course request cards.